The I&B Ministry has pulled up OTT platforms and they've issued an advisory to them urging for stricter compliance with content regulations. As you're probably aware, this advisory was obviously prompted by public concerns and complaints regarding to inappropriate content, particularly following the controversy involving the YouTube show India's Got Latent, where YouTuber Ranveer Allahbadia made an offensive remark. Now, platforms have been told to implement stricter age-based classification for their content, and this also includes ensuring that adult-rated or A-rated content is not accessible to minors through effective parental control mechanisms. And that's actually not the only thing that this advisory mentions. So my colleague Rishabh, who's accessed a copy of it, is going to give us all the details. Over to you, Rishabh.
We have a fresh advisory coming in from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. This is after the controversy that has happened with regards to India's Got Latent and Ranveer Allahbadia alongside other content creators. The Ministry, in its latest advisory, has basically reinforced what is already known. They've talked and said that under the Code of Ethics that is a part of the intermediary IT rules of 2021, it is already reinforced that there should be certain age barriers and age conditions with regards to what sort of content can be accessed by minors. So the government has basically requested all these OTT platforms, including YouTube, to comply with those existing ethics and basically talk and make sure that content that can be deemed obscene or vulgar can not be accessed by minors.
And now to give us more perspective on this, I'm being joined by Roshni Lachhwani, media and entertainment lawyer at Intellexsys, and Girish Wankhede, film and OTT trade analyst, to share their views and their perspective on this and to explain this issue better. Roshni, let me come to you first. How should OTT platforms implement this age-based content classification effectively to meet legal requirements while also balancing creative freedom, since that's going to be the contention that the OTT platforms actually put up?
So to effectively implement, age-based content classification, now OTT platforms can, adopt the following mechanism, that is either adapt similar classification models to regulate digital content, like we already have in the case of the CBFC Board of Regulations, right? So we can have the categorization of content into age-based groups such as universal and adult, and of course you can have UA7+, UA13+, UA16+, and adult. Of course, this helps make your viewers make more, informed choices. And of course, apart from that, they can also provide a kids app or a kids version of an app. So for example, like Netflix, and we have YouTube, which provide a kids version of the app wherein parents can, effectively control and monitor what their kids are viewing, as well as the content is restricted specifically for age-appropriate content for younger minds. And likewise, we've also seen Google has implemented certain policies for child safety measures, which adopts certain design for families filters, and of course, child-appropriate content filters. Now, if the same is not applied by the content creator, mischievously, so of course, this can be verified using AI and other such technologies. And apart from that, if you have rated a content or any content as adult, so the platform should establish reliable age verification processes. So for example, like verifying their identities or valid identification, or integrating third-party age verification, software programs. Now, what happens is this is currently not happening with any of the platforms. We just have an email ID and we register and we log on. There's no, probably at the maximum, they will ask you to verify if you are above 18 or not. But below that, there's nothing beyond that, if you look at it. Of course, apart from that, they're already doing their disclaimers and they're providing advisory, but it's not in languages that are easier to understand for the younger audiences, and not in different languages for larger audiences. So that is what I can give you an overall idea.
Absolutely, Roshni. Thanks for that. Girish, let me come to you now, because how might this advisory, I'm curious to understand, affect audience reception or user engagement that might change if there are stricter content regulations that are enforced, particularly regarding parental controls and age restrictions?
Yeah, actually, for the content creator, it has always been a space where they need to be more responsible. They need to be more accountable because they have all sort of audience. So in addition to all the notifications or certain embargoes and certain age-wise censorships, we always feel that at the end of the day, any user has all the ability to go and access any sort of the content on internet. That's why it is purely the space of the content creator who has to be responsible in creating this content. Now that uh, all that these are their priorities according to their own script and all comes to the content creator, I seriously believe that the balance between the content creators and the consumers is to be done by the government in such a way that there should be not an oppressive censorship, nor there should be something which the consumers are devoid of.
Absolutely, great point there. No oppressive censorship and nothing that the audience should also be devoid of. Thank you so much, Girish, and thank you so much, Roshni, for joining us and giving us that interesting and informative insight into this issue.